Guess I was muted there. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. And shout out to my boy Sindividual for the sick track for that intro music. You can find his links down in the description below if you want to check out some of his other music, trying to bump him up in the algo as well. We are going to get into some Thanksgiving drafts today. We've got the turkey 2, we've got green bean casserole, that's a single entry. Maybe some of these other ones, but I think we'll just start by doing the turkey 2 and see what we get into after that. These should probably fill really quick right now. I'm thinking we'll see. Anyone we know in here? Cowboys rings, Jay Berto. No one I know for sure. Taking Jameer Gibbs at the 101 probably. We could bank on that environment shooting out. No Jaden Reed today. I was hoping he'd come back off IR, which reminds me I have to change some of my rankings because I took him at the end in a couple of these already. So you figure with Gibbs, you make a bet on the Lions. You won't get Amon-Ra most likely to come back. You never know with some of these people, though. Something stupid could happen. We'll see. Maybe luck backs into something dumb here. I like Rashi Rice and the slate against the Dallas defense, even though their defense has gotten better. Obviously, either Pickens or CeeDee Lamb can both go off. Chase Brown. I don't know if I like the scrolly wide receivers as much. I guess you got Christian Watson if you still believe Xavier Worthy's going to do something. I'm on the clock. Let's just go and take Jameer Gibbs here, and after that, we'll see what's going on. I'll leave the board up for you guys so you can see what's going on. These drafts rip pretty quickly, so I'll probably only do a couple of them and get out of here. I got a few obligations today, but figured I'd stream a few of these. Josh Jacobs goes 2 overall, so maybe the running backs are getting bumped up here after all. I don't know if I can. Let's try to do this. If I put this over here, yeah, then I can do the draft board there. And at least you can see both of them. I can still make my picks and stuff. I guess that works, huh? So Derrick Henry, Amon-Ra St. Brown. We'll get something a little interesting back here, won't we? Do we just stay away from the Cincy and Baltimore game, figuring it's outdoors and the weather's not going to be as hot as the indoor games, or lean into that? I mean, CeeDee Lamb along with. See, I was hoping that would stay up there. That kind of sucks. CeeDee Lamb, and then do we take Chase Brown? Or we could do a Pickens double stack. I don't like that as much. I think you take one of the receivers there. And then let's take Chase Brown. So let's do that to start. That seems all right. It's probably a little bit unique too, with CeeDee Lamb falling all the way back to the left side of the board there. I did get one. I think it was in the turkey reverse too, where it was I got Derrick Henry to fall to 3 and then got Jamar Chase back at 6. So for that game environment seems okay. Now what I'm going to have to do on this next turn is make a decision because the Amon-Ra drafter, if he doesn't take Goff, I could take J-Mo and Goff here, or I could take another wide receiver and take Goff and play something with my very last pick. We'll see what the room gives us. You're really at the mercy of what people on the right side of the board do. Now with this, you know once people take a tight end or a quarterback, they can't take another one. Or if they have 2 wide receivers, you could take a third wide receiver. I don't think you'd take more than 2 running backs. So he goes Lamar, so I shouldn't have to worry about Goff if I try and push him all the way to the last pick. These guys don't have anybody from the Lions, so that might be all right. He goes, so I don't have to worry about either of those guys taking quarterback here. So I'm in a spot where I could take J-Mo or Xavier Worthy for the same game environment. I don't know, with Khalif Raymond out, it feels like JMO should probably get a lot more looks today. Yeah, let's see if we can get Goff to come all the way back. Hopefully nobody snipes me. And I'll take Jake Ferguson for the tight end in that game. So that I filled out my lineup other than quarterback, and I just got to hope Goff, one of these two guys here, doesn't take him because this guy can't. He should take Burrow or Mahomes. He should take Mahomes with having Rashee Rice. That would make most sense to me. And then we should be able to get Goff with the last pick. I just built Kelsey Andrews. That's how I stay losing. I've seen people do that a couple times, and I thought about doing that, and it doesn't seem terrible because with the Thanksgiving slate, especially with those being pretty good target earners in their contest, you would think they're going to be a good part of the offense, especially Andrews with Lamar. Because does Zay Flowers really worry about much he's doing? He doesn't. Me. Christian Watson was the other one I was thinking about there for the bring back in this game, but I figured if I could get Jahmyr Gibbs rushing and passing from Goff. See, like here, with him taking Worthy, he should take Mahomes, and I should get Goff all the way back. But I like Lamar with Andrews today. Same with Kelsey and Mahomes. I would think he takes Mahomes there and just doesn't take Goff naked. Which, if so, then this is if Jameson Williams can do what Jameson Williams kind of things that he does, we should be all right. Hopefully, the Browns there or the Bengals can put up some points against the Ravens. Like Watson, yeah, locks for a letdown. You aren't kidding. He did take Mahomes, so we'll get Goff back with the last pick. So then that team will be Jahmyr Gibbs, CeeDee Lamb, Chase Brown, JMO, Jake Ferguson at tight end, and Goff. I don't hate that. If Kelsey or Andrews wouldn't have been there, he would obviously been my pick there, but he wasn't going to be. I think that would actually auto me Burrow if I'm not paying attention. So I guess we'll just take Goff there and lean into that game environment. So for the team, Jahmyr Gibbs, Chase Brown, Jared Goff at quarterback, JMO, CeeDee Lamb, Jake Ferguson. Don't hate it. Let's see what the rest of the room did. Just while we're looking at this kind of thing. So Jacobs went up to the 2. That doesn't usually happen very much. He took Kelsey. I mean, that's not terrible. I don't like that you don't have – I mean, if you're just thinking that the Packers are going to curb stomp the Lions, then I guess that's the way to do it. I could see it more being high scoring where, you need the 2 explosive pieces from the Detroit offense. Obviously, Amon-Ra St. Brown's still his thing. Who Hames, what's happening, man? Didn't think you'd be up this early. I was going to send you an invite. I didn't think with you being an hour behind, I did not think you'd be up doing this already. I'm going to run a couple of these Thanksgiving ones. I know you're not big on the Thanksgiving slate ones, but if you want to jump in, you're absolutely free to do that. You know how it is, man. What you got there? Is that the cranberry sauce? Oh, couldn't see what that was. I think I'll do another one of these turkey twos and then maybe do one of the single entry ones. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Are you smoking something? I know how you get down. Let me know what you're doing, and I'll give you a little shout out here. Also, shout out Who Hames. What was it? You won the Engage 8 last week? Ship that. Did they give you your goat horns yet? I know you were talking about. I seen yesterday when you were streaming. I mean, I'm not gonna. Okay, it was the Engage 8. Did they give you your horns yet? That's what I was wondering. I'll do some this weekend, and I'll give you an invite because these flying, I'll probably be out of here in like a half hour. That way you ain't got to get away from your stuff. But this weekend, I might do some more, some playoff best ball or something. Yeah, this is a lot like rip and pull tabs. They still didn't give them to you yet. That's kind of fucked up. I figured by now you would have it. He won the Engage 8 last week, is what it was. So that's pretty sweet. Glad somebody in the community is banking something. I certainly haven't. I don't do a ton of volume. I more jump into some of these smaller dollar and smaller slate contests and see if something luck boxes. But yeah, Who Aims? I will do some probably do some of the playoff drafts this week, and I'll send you an invite and we'll do some of that. I know that's not really your thing, but I could definitely use your insight with some of it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If you shout out to anybody on the Underdog team, but you could also play it cool and just be like, man, I don't even care about them fucking goat horns. When you get them to me, you get them to me. Take Derrick Henry at the 2. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, tell me Who Ham's the man. Definitely check out his if you don't Don't already sub to his channel, and he does an awesome weekly breakdown with Steve Shelp from Fanspeak Network, and they give you a pretty good insight to the games that happened the previous week and the games that are coming up. What you're thinking for the next week. Stuff as far as waiver claims if you're in managed leagues, or early looks at the slate coming up the next week. Yeah, I know it'll get done. It's still sweet though. I'd like to see it up there. It was cool enough when I got my badge, so I can only imagine. You want them horns, man. I get it. I didn't really think anybody'd be in here. This ain't even early for me. I'm up usually 6 hours before this because I work at 5 a.m. During the week. So I'm up by like 3:30. I just woke up. I got to go to my sister's house here in about an hour or so. So I figured I'd rip a couple of these and stream them. Really, I just wanted to test out the intro video and see how that was. One of my high school buddies does music and stuff like that, and I wanted to help him bump up in the algo some, so I'll be doing more of these. Okay, nothing fun happened here. Derrick Henry, I feel like you almost got to take Pickens there because that's the end of a wide receiver tier. Don't really like Zay Flowers that much. I might lean into him or just double here with Henry and Lamar. Do a Cincy bring back or something. I want to see what this guy does from the one hole because he's drafting the team that I drafted last time. I think the Horns could use some improvement. Yeah, I agree with that. Making pulled pork in the crock pot. Hey, that's definitely you're never going to hear me say no to pulled pork. Like how Emo Cowboy the other day was talking about pork belly. Do I take both running backs for that game? I kind of want Kelsey there. I don't know. Maybe that's not a good pick, given Chase Brown back here, but you know how it is. You got to do some volume in these to try and hit the luck box into the right 6-player combination anyhow. I do want some pulled pork now, talking about that. You and Emo Cowboy with the pork belly got me thinking pork. To hell with some Yardbird, man. I mean, it's all right, but ain't nothing like some pork. That turkey be a little too lean for my fat ass. So he takes Javante. I thought he was going to take Chase Brown. This guy, you almost have to take Chase Brown or you run out of running backs, right? I could take 3 receivers in this with Henry. Or he might get Chase Brown back. Who's to say? I think if you're really betting on Derrick Henry, or you're hoping he'd have a Newt game, because outside of that, what do you really like at running back? I mean, I guess Kareem Hunt, I guess. We could use a second wide receiver. Is it worth trying? He took Lamar, so I don't think I'm going to do that. You know what? Maybe we run the double tight end thing. Now, I'll have to take another wide receiver still, but I've got the 2 good tight ends. Just do something a little bit different. I would be looking at definitely, it's got to be Goff or, I mean, unless I felt like doing something stupid. He takes Jake Ferguson. Let's see. I'm in that game already. So let's just say they curb stomp Indy. Let's do a fun one. Maybe he does something stupid. Do that and take Goff in the last round. Again, he's still questionable. I could swap out to something. But man, do you really run thin on Detroit wide receivers after that? I knew I was going to get Goff back because these two already had quarterbacks already. And maybe they just have to pass more against. So what you're saying is that these two can score enough touchdowns to outplay, JMO if he doesn't have a Newt game, or CeeDee Lamb, Rashee Rice. That's actually a good team there. I kind of like that. And then take Goff at the last pick. Or do I just take Burrow naked there, or Dak there naked in that game? What does this guy have over here? You know what? Let's take Dak because we got Pickens. I like that maybe more. And we could say that Tesla just gets his random touchdown game with 150 yards or something. Sometimes I like the scroll, sometimes I don't in this because your ADP is pretty static, it seems like. This is the week that Chase puts up 50, smashes Baltimore quite often. I mean, I could see it happening. I could also see that game just being a dud. Like, a lot of moving parts in that with Burrow coming back. But you wonder, is he just going to get doubled or with T. Higgins being out or what's going on? I was thinking about Mitch Tinsley there too when you said that. I was going to debate that and Burrow there. He's definitely one I like. We'll do another one of these and then maybe I'll do the single entry what was that, the green bean casserole or mashed potato? I wasn't really paying much attention. Whatever it is. Mitch Tinsley was one I was thinking about. It's got to be him or Tesla, I would say. And this one we get the 3 picks. We'll get a little bit different texture of team here. Yeah, I like Mitchell Tinsley there. I think I like him more than Yoshivas, just because Yoshivas doesn't seem to have. Does he seem to have a ceiling to you, Who Hames? Like, yeah, he falls in the end zone every now and then. Maybe Gesicki at tight end, but he's not really much of a scroll, I don't think. Mitch Tinsley's definitely one you can keep on the radar here. I guess I could have done that with Henry and then taken Burrow. It just feels like the ceiling with Pickens there is so much higher. And then Dak, would bring him along in the KC game. And these, I mean, you're really just trying to hit the nutted 6. Sean Gonzo. I don't know if I've seen I don't stream a whole lot, but I don't know if I'd seen you in here before. So maybe that Algo's doing something good. I don't know what I'm excited for today. Like, I love some deep fried turkey, but definitely now you got me thinking about pulled pork. So now my stomach's rumbling. Appreciate you on that one, Hugh Hames. Oh, is it? Okay. I didn't know that's Dirty P. All right, good looking out. Hugh Hames, I need you to send me your Rolodex of Underdog users with their screen names. Because I forget, only one I can remember is Hartman's because his is weird compared to his YouTube name as well. Yeah, once I trust Hugh Hames. When he says something like that, I don't doubt it at all. I know he does enough of these to know everybody that's in his room, so that's good. Glad we got some people actually watching. I wasn't just talking to myself anyhow. Chase goes to 2, so I'll get Henry at 3. I might be able to do that Mitch Tinsley thing here, right? If it comes back to it, because I'll get a wide receiver here, and then I can play the push quarterback game for a while. Oh, I get my pick a wide receiver. I didn't see that coming. Take Rashi against Dallas. Yeah, I guess that. Yeah, I just woke up. I was just wanting to try out that intro video and make sure it didn't sound like shit. I could kind of mess with the formatting and make it full screen. I didn't like how it was more of a had the things on the side there, but probably change back to Dirty P for draft season. Yeah, I could see that. Hey, Who Hames, do you know how to get this to where it shows their actual YouTube name and not the handle? Or does it just do it randomly? I could never figure that out. I mean, I hadn't really fucked with it a lot, but I didn't know if you knew. There was no idea. I've been saying, I don't know if it was just something YouTube does every now and then or really wasn't sure. What's the weather like by you, Who Ames? We start to get we're going to get probably 2-3 inches of snow today. And it was all like sleet and freezing rain here yesterday. The road sucked. I didn't do shit. That's why I just watched the ship chasing ships. If you haven't seen that, Who Hames, go back and watch when they were trying to name all the players from like the 2010s, 2000s, 2010s and stuff, where it would give you a topic and all the players that filled that narrative. Rebar is out of his mind with some of the guys he remembers. I definitely don't think I could do that. I guess could take Javante there. We get I don't know how much I like him though against. You know what? Let's take Javante, I guess, for a second running back. I thought about Zay Flowers, but I think that's too much to put into the Baltimore game. Plus, I should get, I think, Mahomes back here. I would have taken Kelsey and then Mahomes. Could have taken Andrews was my other thought. See, he did the other thing I was thinking about, but I don't like that bet as much already having Derrick Henry. So we'll take Mahomes there, and then we'll have to scroll a little bit for a tight end and either another receiver. Lord Reeves is great. I'll go back and fish it. I got there late. Oh yeah. I forgot you had that fan speak string. I popped in there for a minute, and then I got tied up for a minute. But yeah, check out Rebar. Some of the names he pulls in that stuff, like, and I'm a little bit older, so I remember some of the guys, but definitely not until I hear the names. Also, we'll be 30. Okay, so you don't have the precipitation at least. But yeah, Reeves, some of the names he was pulling out, I was like, man, how the hell do you even remember this stuff? He was on a tear, like what was it? Name the quarterbacks all the way back to a certain year that played in a playoff game. Cause you get those random one-off quarterback games that'll just start a playoff game because the quarterback's hurt or something. Some of the names he was pulling out, I was like, I don't remember half of these guys. And he's just like, oh yeah, this guy. I was like, psh. Reeves is in his bag playing this game. And then they were doing like they ended up late in the night. It was like Pro Bowl kickers back to 1991 or something. Just watch and Gretsch with his countries of the world. He was just out cold with it. I was like, what in the hell? These guys are like walking dictionaries. So I could get the double stack here. I think I got. Does this guy have a tight? He did take Andrews, so I don't got to worry about tight end. I guess we could just double stack the Chiefs. Yeah, I guess that's a little more fun, right? Because then I get both of that game with Javonte bring back, Derrick Henry, and then I either have Gesicki at tight end or Jake Ferguson in that game as well, which I guess I kind of want. I guess we could just say that's the game that shoots out, right? Because I got Javonte and then just Derrick Henry against those guys. So then we got Mahomes double stacked with his wide receivers, Derrick Henry, and then Javonte Williams and Jake Ferguson both in the bringbacks. Hope that game's like a 50-45 game. And maybe we get some CeeDee Lamb or George Pickens tackles at the 2 and Javonte walks in. In 2010, I was in a 16-man 50. Holy hell. That that sounds fun. I'm in a 32-team dynasty team right now, and you're talking about where it gets thin already. I can't imagine 53-man rosters in a 16 team. All right, you guys got any suggestions of what you want to do? The green bean casserole is a single entry that I was thinking of. That's a $15 one. I don't really like that. The $25 ones, I might do those on my phone later when I'm sitting around fucking before I'm watching football, just for something to do. Cranberries, I kind of like the whole slate ones, so I'll do the green bean casserole or another turkey too. Shoot a single entry. I've done mine though. Okay, yeah, I'll do that one. I'll give you guys. Let me know if you want to jump in before I hit it, Dirty P, if you're still here, and I'll do this. I mean, I can try and time it up for you. You know how there's about the 8-second delay. I think in these you got to scroll a little bit. I'll give you a minute to say anything, but if not, then I guess in this you're just kind of hoping that somebody does something crazy or you scroll for something. I'll give you a few seconds here, Dirty P. I got to make the driver infested trip. It's only like a 45-minute drive to my sister's, but it's just enough of people on the road and it's somewhat urban enough to be annoying. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Who Hames? You did Mahomes, Chase, Rice, Watson, Keaton, Likely, my single entry. Okay, so you already did it, so I got to worry about waiting for you. Who Hames said he did his. Oh, I'm waiting on 2, so anybody wants to get in can. Yeah, I think maybe you need to scroll a little bit more in the single entries where you can cache more or, have a good place without scrolling much in the other ones. So maybe we'll do so. I took Likely in one of mine because somebody took Andrews after I had Lamar. So I just took Likely as my tight end because like everybody else that was projected well is gone. See what happens here in the single entry, and then I'll probably get out of here. Let you guys get on about your day. Nobody in here I know. Got the 2 slots. So, I mean, you're thinking Derrick Henry, and then I can make that Mitch Tinsley scroll in this. I don't hate that. You think the opposite more? See, I just figure in the single entry, everybody, like even you got like your one-off people that don't even draft much would just get in this and be like, it's a single entry. I'll throw something in, especially on Thanksgiving sitting around. But you could be right. See, I thought when he was talking, Dirty P was talking about that, I was thinking Keaton and Likely and a single entry for that shootout game with Chase. I like that with a double scroll because I think you're getting super unique then. Where in a single entry, I feel like you're fighting everyone. If it's chalk, then you're going to split it so many ways. Yeah, that's true as well. I guess you can make the case for both, right? Maybe you're more correct than my line of thinking is there. I guess with the portfolio plays, the scroll does make a little bit more sense. I just thought that with it being chalk, you'd be cucking with everyone else, you know. What's happening? That's got to be Thad. I can tell by the by the picture, the profile picture. That's the only reason I know because it shows up as the handle. What's happening, Thad? Good to see you, man. I fired up here. I figured do a couple of these and then maybe I'll do some playoff drafts next week. Some way too early. I'll show you guys the one I built. That is a little fun if Baltimore can go on a run, but they'd have to score me enough points early to get there. Like if you take Keaton, he's the guy you massively put yourself higher chance first in the single entries. Yeah. Yeah. But also if he's not, then you're missing the chalk. That's D Henry. I can see both sides of the argument. You do this more than I do, so you might be more correct about the single entries. Josh Jacobs. So I'll get something a little unique here. I could get either Pickens or I guess Pickens would be more or Amon. I guess actually Rashi Rice or Amon Ra is a little bit different there, huh? So yeah, let's take Rashi because he's on kind of a fall there. He's not going to highlight it for me. I see what you're up to there, Underdog. Trying to stroke me on this. There'll also be less teams that have the chalk lineups just to do well. Yeah, that makes sense as well. So that's probably a little unique there, getting Rashi to fall all the way back. Thing is, how soon will I have to take Mahomes to not battle some? I don't think I'd have to pick him there, right? So we could singles fun Mahomes, Demont, Rice, Lamb. Yeah, that's definitely fun too. So before I run out of time here, do I take Chase Brown or Devon? Let's take Chase Brown, see if we can get Mahomes to fall back. Just because Kelsey was gone. Otherwise, I'd have thought about that. Okay, see, I was thinking the same thing as well. Glad we're in lockstep there, who I just think his projectable volume so much, and with Javante against the Chiefs D, I don't like it so much. They've been playing quite a bit better, it seemed like. So I should, if this guy isn't doing something crazy, get Mahomes here back at 15, right? Okay, so he'll do something crazy and take Mahomes instead. So now we got to play this a little bit different. I think take JMO just because I think you need a little bit more of a spike week there for your second wide receiver if you're not going to get it. And then I could take for the game environment one of the tight ends, either Ferg or Gasecki. I just don't understand taking Mahomes there. Like, I guess if you think he spreads it around enough to where, you know, Worthy and Kelsey and Rice all get theirs, you would think he'd probably take Dak now with one of those two picks, which means I can push Goff all the way to the end and take my tight end here and hope that JMO nukes. So I guess Manders has got to be picked there to take with that game environment. Tough one. Burrow and hope Gasecki comes back. Yeah, there's that too. I don't like either one of them, to be honest. Let's take Andrews, and then I've already made the JMO bet, so I guess you would think that if he's going to have a nuke game, that Rashi Rice does enough. You get your volume from here, and Andrews is the nuts at tight end, and then just take Goff with the last pick. I was going to think about Ferguson and Goff there, but with Prescott already going there, I was kind of tied into either. I was going to take either Mitch Tinsley and Burrow or Gasecki and Burrow, but I think I can do that with Goff, and that's, you know, if it's right, it's right. I could still take a naked Burrow there. I don't think he's without Chase. I don't like doing that as much. You feel like if they're going to do it, yeah, that's what I was definitely doing. And Chase Burrow teams would be more rare. Yeah, that's true. That's true as well. Mm, I don't know with JMO being such a fucking with JMO being such a. I guess who him you talked me into it. I figured that'd be like say JMO has a big enough week. I thought about that too, but with the bring back, but I've already got both running backs in that game with Andrews. So I guess just for rarity's sake in the single entry, like who Hames was saying, the Burrow and Chase might be. Then you've got good pieces of that game if it shoots out, and you've got probably the best pieces to spike in that game. Because I don't really think like I guess Christian Watson maybe, and obviously Gibbs maybe is maybe a little bit different. See, I thought about doing that too. You see how long I thought about it, and I was like, you know what, you might have talked me into it. Burrowy Ocean, right? I mean, there's probably not a wrong answer. There probably is a more correct answer. I guess what I mean, since you're taking, you talked me into it with the Chase Brown Burrow thing being a little bit more unique. You're just saying maybe he catches a couple passes out of the backfield, takes him to the house. Chase gets all the double coverage and can't really do much about it. Yeah, that makes sense as well. I figure with Chase Brown, he'd probably be a little bit more unique too. We'll do one more of these and I'll get the fuck out of here. Now I'll have $1 left in my underdog account, so I'll have to deposit before I can do more playoff drafts. Like a second to Burrow for the non-Chase double. Yeah, I was thinking to do it with Chase Brown there to be a little bit more unique. I don't know. Maybe that's a bad idea, making a bet on the run game and the pass game. But I really don't like, really Chase Brown and Jamar are the only two Bengals you really feel like are going to spike enough in this slate to do anything. I guess there you're playing on the banking that the Cincy and Ravens games actually shoots out. For my money, I think it's Kansas City and Dallas that spike more than anything, even though Kansas City's D is pretty decent. Dallas offense can probably do enough to push them. 50% Chase Brown, 35% Henry, only 17 entries. But yeah, I mean, I'm probably not going to get any. I maxed out I had two left in the tiny turkey before it closed. I was just randomly doing, some of those. And the best thing, actually, no, it was the turkey reverse. I actually got Derrick Henry to fall to 3 and then Jamar Chase to fall to uh, 5. Yeah, 5 coming back. So I figured that was a little bit unique for that game. Should I take Chase here, or I think just Henry's too good a projectable volume to pass up at 2? Yeah, I'll show it to you here in a second. And I forget if I might have taken Josh Jacobs at the running back. I don't remember what I did after that, but I figured that was a little bit unique. Or yeah, 3 and 6. That's what I meant. That was and I'm pretty sure it was in the turkey reverse, just the little $2 2 entry one. He goes Pickens at 1. So let's take Gibbs at 1 or at 2 and see what we can get unique back here. I don't know why you'd take him at 1 when you can most likely get him at 8, right? That's you. Isn't that usually where he falls in these? So Gibbs at 2 is a little bit fun. Chase and Amon Ra, and then I'll get one of the either Rice or Lamb back here. Let's take Rashi Rice. And now this feels pretty unique, right? Not entirely, but I don't hate that one. And then we got to decide, do we lean into one of these game environments more than the other? Because Pickens is gone there. So we might have to lean into the Detroit or take Ferguson or Kelsey. We'll need a second wide receiver. He isn't taking Lamb. The guy before me took him. Yeah, that's why I was like, I would have taken that. Yeah, you'd think he wouldn't take Lamb with Pickens too. That's what I thought my debate was going to be, was one of those two wide receivers. So he goes Javonte Williams and Jacobs. Could take Chase Brown again. I could do that or Kelsey. Let's do this and see what happens. I like Chase Brown's volume as well, though, in that game. I was thinking maybe scroll for Hollywood or Juju in this game. Depending on what these guys, if they take one of the tight ends early. If not, then I was thinking about Kelsey and Mahomes for the stack. But I could also go golf Christian Watson to get my second wide receiver. Kelsey, I figured would go there. I'm kind of questionable about Josh Jacobs' volume today. And Detroit seems like they stuff the run pretty well. I feel like if anything, their receivers are going to go off more. So he takes Zay Flowers and Lamar. This guy goes Mahomes. So I guess, do I take Ferguson there for that game environment and worry about this guy taking Dak? Or I guess J-Mo's probably the safer play to get my next wide receiver that could probably nuke. And that way I at least have my receivers filled out. That way I could just take a naked Andrews because this guy's already he could, I mean, I guess he could take two tight ends. He could take Ferguson and Andrews. He takes him there. So what I was thinking is if I can get Ferg back here and then Goff with the last pick. Because at least I have, a Detroit game. Or could I you would think he'd take Dak, right? He goes Jordan Love. Okay, that would have been my next thing I would have done is take Watson and then Love. So I do need a tight end. Ferguson's kind of what I got to do there. Unless I'm going to take Gesicki, but I've already got the Rashi Rice bet. So I think with Gibbs and J-Mo this time, I'll just take Goff. I mean, if J-Mo is going to spike and Gibbs is going to do, you would think Green Bay kind of shuts down the run game so that Gibbs would get some of his work out of the passing game, and that would help push Goff. Hopefully, Green Bay can do enough to actually make it the game have to shoot out. I don't think there's another pick in there I like. Like, I mean, I could take Dak with Ferg, but I feel like he's bringing CeeDee Lamb or Pickens along with him if he goes. Like, see, that's pretty chalky there, I would think. But you got a little bit of a fall on Rashi Rice, so it's a little bit different. At least double set. I like the dome games more today, I think. Like outside of Derrick Henry in that game, I think Brown's a good, he'll get his volume for the other running back. But I'll see if I can find what would be drafts completed, Thanksgiving main slate, and I think it was the turkey reverse. Yeah, Henry, Chase. I took Burrow in that because I figure if anything, they'll push that game environment. Josh Jacobs, Christian Watson against Detroit, and then Kelsey at tight end. That was the team I built when, Henry fell to 3, and then I took Chase at 5, Jacobs when he came back, and then just Christian Watson, Travis Kelsey, and I took Burrow because I figured if Chase is right, then Burrow's got to come with him. That was it. And the other one I wanted to show you who that I thought was kind of fun that I did in the early playoff best ball ones. I guess that's the wrong slate. Was way too early wild card, and it was the Ravens and Rams. I think it was the very first one I did. I got pretty much all the good pieces from the Rams and Ravens. So I got Zay Flowers and Andrews. I got Derrick Henry and Lamar, which I was figuring they probably wouldn't get a bye, so they'd have some pretty good projectable volume. And then Stafford, Kyron, Puka, and Devontae. I brought Kittle and RJ Harvey along to fill in a running back if the Rams end up with the bye. And you just hope you can get enough from that. Kind of the way it fell was the only way I could do it. But when Kittle fell to 38, I figured he was a good piece that in the event that San Fran somehow runs it and they get the bye, then I get the Rams pieces for all the early games. And if not, I've at least got some decent pieces where I can try and push it into week 2. PPR Tyler in the building. What's happening, man? Good to see you. Glad I didn't think I'd see you in here. I didn't figure I'd see anybody from the Central Time Zone in here this early, especially on Thanksgiving Day. So thanks for stopping in, man. Appreciate it. I just got done. I was showing Huhaim's the early wild card team that I did, where I got pretty much all the nutted pieces from Baltimore and the Rams. So if Baltimore can run into the Super Bowl, I feel like that team would have a good shot with the pieces that I got there to ship the thing. Got your boy RJ Harvey at pick 50 because I wanted another running back in case the Rams got the bye. And then Kittle for if the Rams got the bye, a third piece here where hopefully I can fill out enough of a lineup to get it there. Yeah, that's what I was thinking with the prices of them. And I feel like they're way too discounted for what they were doing. like where they're at. Same with the Chiefs. Like they're obviously their prices are higher, but I could see both of them running. The AFC seems so wide open. See what some of these other ones. I had Mahomes and Baker Mayfield, Bucky Irving there. Had the double stack. Brought Mike Evans back for the playoffs. Oof on Laporta. That kind of sucks. But then I had Lab McConkey and Amon-Ra, which was playing like, Lions would be playing. I guess if you got that to the Super Bowl and it was Lions and Chiefs, you got Laporta and Amon-Ra with, the Chiefs stacked up. I got fucking barbecued. Well, yeah, I figured that's what it meant. I definitely didn't have any. I had one that I wish I would have done right. I actually got I got AJ Brown with Saquon and Jalen Hurts, and then should have just taken stabs at AFC teams to get them there, but didn't really know what I was doing. And I had one piece of like 3 different teams, so it didn't like cash very well. That one I forget what happened. I took a third quarterback in that one. But my power went out and it autoed them before I got back to it. I'll do my playoff best ball. Yeah, I mean, I get it with the point scoring there. Would I do that one? Casey and the Bears for something different fun. Took a scroll on Jahan Dotson. Just some of this, but there's good advance rate running backs in that one. So I had KC with the Bears. Took a bunch of those there. Just seeing what you could get there. I definitely won't show him this. I definitely won't show him that. These comments back to back are fucking hilarious. Oh, well, I got PPR Tyler in here, and that's sort of what's on the menu right now. That's fucking great. Check out the Toxic Tower. You should definitely clip this and this back to back and play it on the tower. That would be some of the funniest fucking stuff I'd see. I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna do it. I don't think enough people care about my channel, yet. I don't got enough followers, but that I don't know if I could have laughed harder or something like that. I don't know. I like BBG. I like him and Emo both. I think you guys got a good thing with the Toxic Tower going on there. You think he will? I don't know. He's on the West Coast. Like, I feel like you guys in the Central Time Zone, it's only like 7 a.m. there. And I could see BBG getting into some 12-ounce curls last night and not getting up early today. But hey, appreciate all you guys stopping in here. Find out Dirty P and Thad and PPR Tyler and Who Hames. I missed anybody else? Yeah, Thad's got it right. Toxic Tower. That's some good watching. It's a good watch. His 4th of the week. Oh, what's that? BBG's. I missed the first comment. When you said 4th of the week, I figured that's where it was headed, but I don't know. Maybe he met somebody on the gram. This guy that I work with told me about, I couldn't believe this shit. He was talking to me about how he met up with people off Instagram for he does traveling for work and stuff. And he was just going to random places, meeting up with people on the gram and staying in their houses and stuff. He's like, no, bro, I'm a good judge of character. I was like, I don't know, man. It's Instagram. I don't know if I'd ever be a good judge of anybody's character off the gram. Yeah, he's giving thanks. He's spreading that love. He's about to make some little surfers going on here in about 8 months would be. 8 months would be July, so we'll have some new little surfer kids going around on the West Coast there. I don't know. That's what he was saying. He goes, I met some chicks that were he was literally going over to chicks' houses. I mean, I'm not going to dox myself saying where I work now. But he goes, yeah. And he does networking and stuff because he's in not sales, but because I work in logistics. So he's trying to, meet people that where he can get stuff. Ends met, A and B. He's like, yeah, I met some chicks, went and stayed over their house and stuff. I was like, dude, that's some fire shit right there. That's what I said. He must have been, they must have been talking about meeting up or something and, having some sort of business meeting and just was like, and they were like, hey, well, you can save on lodging. Just come crash at my house. I don't know. I wasn't asking questions. We were talking about somebody the other day because we were shipping to somebody's house and they had their name on the shipping tag as Mr. and Mrs. whatever it was. And I was like, oh, bro, he's definitely got the cuck chair. And I was like, well, I'm surprised we weren't shipping him a chair. And he's like, no, bro, he's already got one. That's why. Have any live fast draft teams? Who Hames might. I didn't even get into fast draft. Just I don't think it was legal here, is what it was. Because when we were talking about that PPR Tyler on your streams, doing some fast drafts, and I couldn't do it yet. because Michigan was one of the states that still wasn't legal in. So I'm just like, hey, remember PPR Tyler last year? I had my broken foot and was driving down to my mom's house in Ohio just so I could draft with you in your streams because that wasn't even Underdog wasn't even legal in Michigan here yet. 5th in the IDP contest. Hey, you gotta know your defense, man. You gotta know your defense. Oh well, yeah, I could see that. Yeah, you're a defense guy. Yeah, I mean, we see you giving the breakdowns on the film and stuff. Also, we see you on defense in your clip that you play in your videos sometimes. So we know you know defense one way or another. Either you know how to not get lit up on the crack block, or you know people that aren't getting lit up on the crack block. Seeing that's awesome. And 100 team in the top in the flex 4 with Rashi about to go 100 off in first. I mean, that's pretty solid then. I could see Rashi Rice having a new game today. I don't think the Dallas, I feel like their run D got a lot better, but their pass D is still like exploitable, especially by the Cowboys or by the Chiefs. So, all right, guys, I'm going to get out here, go smash some shit. I appreciate everybody that stopped in and gave some shout outs here. If you're not already, people we got in here is PPR Tyler. So make sure you follow him and go give him a follow and a sub over on his YouTube channel. And make sure you give, like Thad said, the Toxic Tower a follow and a sub over on YouTube, and Twitter and all that shit. Who Hames as well. He's definitely got a channel. Great insight. Does a great game breakdown every week on Tuesdays with Steve Schaup with the FanSpeak Network. Make sure you give both Who Hames and the FanSpeak Network a follow over there. Community would be irate if they knew how much site credit I mean, I'm sure, with what you were doing, because that's how PPR Tyler, that's how I met you, was because shout out to Jason Allwine. I was always watching Wake and Take, and he was the one that actually sent me to your channel. So that's how I even got put on to start and watch your channel in the first place. So actually, I don't know. He got married, so his name, I thought he did something with change. I don't know what it was. But shout out to Jason also from the Wake and Take. I'm in a 32 team Wake and Take Dynasty League with Jason. So, I mean, we get it. When you work for the PP, man, you're going to get some site credits from Fast Draft. I think that's how Matt Kelly's going to do his stuff. Thanks for coming out, Thad. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Who Hames. Appreciate you, PPR Tyler. Gobble, gobble, everyone. I will try and make sure you got your notifications turned on for when I get in here. And I look forward to drafting with you guys all soon. Make sure you eat so much today that you need some pajama pants so you don't have to do anything the rest of the day and you can fuck off the rest of the weekend. I got to work tomorrow, but I'm still about to crush some grub. See you guys later. Peace.